that I'm saying is out the ordinary. It's not anything that anyone couldn't do. It's just I'm going to compile it in a way that's going to be easy and very comprehensive for I feel like anyone, because anyone can do this. So with that said, we're going to buy a car with bad credit, and again, no money down. So like I was just saying, the first thing we have to do is raise our credit score seemingly overnight. Now, there are various ways that you can do this, but here is the most effective way to raise your credit score so you can get that car. So you need to be added on as an authorized user. Now, I'm going to approach this as if I'm speaking with someone who's never had credit, because I don't want to. If I'm saying something that sounds like it's obvious, I apologize. I'm just saying that because there may be someone who is hearing about this for the first time. They could be young. They just don't know anything about credit. So just bear with me. So what is an authorized user on a credit card? An authorized user is someone who is added to a primary cardholder's credit account, even though the credit card company will issue a card with the authorized user's name on it. The primary user is legally responsible for paying charges on the account. So here's what I'm saying. When you are added on to someone's credit card account as an authorized user with various credit cards, you get to adopt that person's payment history. So let's get into how that helps you get a car. Being added as an authorized user on another person's card can give you credit history or build your credit. Increase your credit score fast using this method. Doing this will give you the history and a credit score boost. So here's what I'm saying. When I tried to get my first car, I had bad credit. My mom added me onto one of her credit cards. When she added me onto one of her credit cards, I got all of her positive payment history. So my credit score was in like the mid 500 range. And it was like overnight, my credit score went up to like a 630. So I went from basically bad credit to fair credit seemingly overnight, right? So that's what we need to do. We need to get your score to at least the 600 range. And the reason why this is going to work is because 35% of your credit score is on time payments. So if you get 3-4 years, 2 years of on time payments, that's 35% of your score. It's going to dramatically increase your credit score. Your other 30% of your credit score is utilization. How much credit is being used on that credit card? So if this person is only using 10% or less on their card, plus they have positive payment history for, I would say, at least 2 years, you are going to see a huge increase in your score. You may see 50, 80, possibly even 100 points seemingly overnight once you get added onto that card. If you're going to do this, you want to do it, I would say, like right before their cycle date closes. That way, when you get added on, it reports a little bit faster. Okay. But this is the hack strategy that we're going to use. Now, I'm sure some people are thinking, well, what if I don't have anyone that can add me on or that doesn't want to add me on? First of all, just know that if you're asking someone to add you on and they're in a position where they do want to help you, they don't have to give you a credit card. They could literally add you on for 30 days. This will just be a temporary boost to your credit score in order for you to be able to qualify for that car loan. So just let them know, if they're hesitant, that you're not getting a card. This can be temporary, just enough for me to boost my score, just so that I am able to get better rates for a vehicle. So let's talk about if you don't have anyone that you can ask. There's a trick for that. So what if I don't have anyone that can add me? If you want to get an instant credit boost and you don't have anyone that can add you, you can use vendor trade lines to increase your credit score. And if you don't know what vendor trade lines are, I'm just going to go over that quickly. There's two websites that I recommend. One is coasttradelines.com. The other one is tradelinesupply.com. And we're going to go over exactly what a vendor trade line is and what does that actually mean. So, Coast Trade Lines. This is the fastest and most reliable way to boost your credit score. Boost your credit score in just 1 week. This is how it works. Our credit is your credit. We partner with individuals with high credit card limits to temporarily add you as an authorized user to their credit cards. Their card's perfect payment history and high limit will post to your credit file, boosting your score. This means their credit is now your credit, and you can qualify for things like a housing mortgage, auto finance, or business loans. So it's like when parents add their child as a user to their credit cards, our credit partners will add you to their credit cards to boost your credit score. So if you're a low credit individual, you want to watch your score increase, and you need that boost in order to get, a car loan, a mortgage loan, business loan, any loan. This strategy doesn't just work with vehicles; it also will work with any loan. All right. And I'm going to give you an example of, what that looks like. So if you go to buy trade lines and you pick your own trade line. So there's a full inventory and you hand pick by your preference. Now, this does cost a decent amount of money. Pick your trade line, the fastest and most reliable way to boost your score. So here's someone with a Chase 23K credit line with 8 years of history. 8 years of history. So there's 3 spots left. It's $580. But you're going to get a 23K credit line with 8 years of history. If you have a 500 credit score, what do you think that's going to do for your credit score? Your credit score is going to jump up. I mean, I would say you will probably be somewhere in at least the low to mid range 600s by adding an account like this to your credit score. And it adds it on there for $580. And I believe that, they do it for 60 days. That's more than enough time for you to get in position to get ready to get your vehicle. All right, so let's look at other things. There's a Chase right here, another one for 27.3 thousand dollars credit line, 9 years of history for $640. And if these prices seem high to you, there are different price ranges. The lower the price, you'll probably notice the lower the credit limit or the younger the account is. So the older the account is, the better it'll be. I mean, they even had one right here that's not available, but a Synchrony. It's a low credit limit, $800, but 9 years of history for $290. So, a little bit less, but that's okay. So you would just go through here and just decide which one would work within your budget. And if this seems like, a lot, what you guys have to understand is if you're trying to get a vehicle and you're looking at paying a crazy interest rate, 29%, something nuts like that, you paying $470, $770 even, what you're going to save over the long term, over like a 60-month car loan, it's a no-brainer. Because I know like sometimes we're thinking in the immediate moment, but if you're thinking long term, you're going to save more than that within the first year just by having that lower interest rate. So this is an investment into yourself. And a little more information here. Lines with an asterisk have excellent posting histories. Grab these to minimize the risk of non-posting. Need to post to all 3 bureaus? Grab a BOC, PNC, and that just lets you know, like, if you want this to report to all 3 credit bureaus, then you want to make sure to grab these accounts. These post to all 3. If you know that you have a bank that you're going to go to and you know which credit profile that they pull from, then you can just pick the one that they pull from. And it says, please select no more than 3 trade lines per application. We are not able to process orders with more than 3 trade lines. And then, of course, the trade lines bank, how long the trade line has been open, the longer the better. Trade line statement date is the line that you're seeing with the 25th, 26th. Remember, I was saying you want to look at the point where the statement cycle date's about to close. That's usually when it's going to report. So trade line statement date, it should post to your file about 7 to 10 days after this date. So, I mean, this is just a way where, again, you can ask your friend, you can ask your mom, you can ask your girlfriend, you can ask anybody you know with a good payment history to add you on as an authorized user for free. If you have no one that you can ask, then this is an alternative. You could even get a friend where you could say, hey, if your payment history is excellent and you have a high limit, I'll throw you $50. Can I you just add me on there for 30 days? I don't need a card. I just want to get this loan. In most instances, I would do that for free for my friends, because especially if they're just trying to get into a better position. So this is definitely an option for you. I do believe that this is one of the best ways that you can get a low interest rate on an auto loan, a home loan, a business loan, or temporarily increase your score 100 points. I mean, just to get started with repairing credit, or for someone who doesn't have credit at all, where you can get a big jump so that you can get the lowest interest rates on anything that you need. And I just wanted to take you guys to Trade Line Supply as well. So you can see the accounts that are on here. Maybe there's better pricing. I haven't looked at this in a while. So here's a Barclays for 5,000, opened in 2020, so about 3 years old. Reporting period March 9th to March 16th. One in stock, $322. So you can kind of like go through here and take a look at the different ones. I would look for a decent limit. Here goes a $10,000 limit. It's only been open since 2021. So you may get like 3 years out of that. I think that's not bad. $373.75. Not bad. They actually seem to have better prices than what we saw for the last one. Okay, pretty cool. So I just wanted to give you an example of both. And, if you need that 100-point credit score boost, this is the thing for you. Or get added to someone's account as an authorized user. All right. Now, this is just step one. So let's get back to step two. So now here's what we figured out so far. We know how we can get a huge boost to our credit score to where now we can pretty much qualify for most basic loans. But now we need to get funded, and I don't recommend going to a bank. If you're trying to get a car loan, we don't want to go to a bank. Navy Federal, I have a couple of their products. I had their In Reward Secure card. I had that Graduate to a Cash reward cards. I have the Go Rewards card, and I also have their Go Biz Business MasterCard. All right, so I have a few products with Navy Federal. I think they're a really good credit union. So Navy Federal's lowest APR is 4.54%. You can apply and get pre-approved. Once you're approved, they will send you a check for the entire amount of this vehicle. This does not require a down payment, guys. Once you have the check, you can purchase the vehicle from the dealership. This is hassle-free. So Navy Federal pulls your TransUnion credit score. So if you were looking at the trade line option, you want to make sure if you go with Navy Federal, you're looking at one that has TransUnion reporting. So TransUnion credit score, and there isn't a minimum credit score requirement. However, Navy Federal is all about relationship building. Navy Federal has their own internal score for members. When I was rebuilding credit, Navy Federal was a big part of that. I would suggest if you want to get an auto loan and you're not pressed for time, open up an account if you can and get a pledge loan with them. Get the Insecure Rewards secure card, open up a checking and savings, make deposits into the checking and savings account for 6 months, pay down that pledge loan, and get that secure card, pay it on time for 6 months. You do that, plus what we just talked about, you're in the game. You're in the game. But let's go to the Navy Federal website. So now I'm going to show you how to get pre-approved for Navy Federal Credit Union auto loans. So let's take a look at the rates, okay? So, shopping for a new or used car, get exclusive benefits with our great auto loans and see what you need to get started. Let's just take a look at what we need. So, step one, you'll need to provide the following information: contact information for applicant and co applicant, phone number and email, current housing, employment, and income information for applicant and co applicant, trade in information if that's applicable, the amount you expect to finance, including vehicle purchase price, taxes, tags, title, and warranty, less any down payment, length term of the loan you want. So, when you're doing this, if you don't know the vehicle that you're going to choose, there is an option that you don't know the vehicle yet, and you can just get the amount. So this only applies if you've already picked out a vehicle and you know the VIN number and you know the state, the exact mileage, the dealer. And if you have all that information, then great. If you don't have a vehicle picked out, no problem. More about applying. So after submitting your application, you'll receive a text or email letting you know the status of your application. We understand that when shopping for a car, you can't always wait for a decision. That's why we typically provide a decision in 5 minutes or less. You receive your funds. That's step 3. You can choose to pick up a check at your nearest branch or have it mailed to your home. Send us the title once you pay the seller. Ensure the title is received by Navy Federal within 90 days of purchase. So before we go to that apply now option and look at those steps, let's just go back and check out some of our current rates that we have right now. A new vehicle for Navy Federal is 4.54%. Again, if you're a prime lender, you're looking at something like this for 36 months. 37 to 60 months, 4.99%. 61 to 72 months, 5.29%. 73 to 84 months, APR as low as 7.19%. 85 to 96 months, APR as low as 8.09%. And that is today's date. Rates are based on February 12th, 2024. If you're watching this video at a later time, these rates are subject to change. They may be lower, could be higher. It just depends. They also partner with TrueCar, so they actually help you pick your car online just to make this buying experience that much easier. It's seamless. You don't have to worry about the nonsense at the dealership. That's very, very important. Again, you can pre-qualify. This won't impact your credit score. I mean, it really doesn't get much